Hello everyone, welcome to National Time Media today. And today we do have a great spiritual guru with us. Swami Bhakti Marg ji is with us, and we are getting a blessings today, and we are going to ask few things which can help all the society and his great learning and all the things. Let's start with that. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Fantastic.
Looking fresh today.
Enjoying the Chinooks.
Yeah, especially we are blessed in Calgary with the Chinook. So I would like to know about something about your life over here. You born in Canada.
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about how you come along all this way to the spirituality?
Well, yeah, I was born in southwestern Ontario. Chatham is the place. Historically, it's got a lot going for it. You know, there was the great chief Tecumseh who got killed by the American militia there.
Yeah.
And I used to walk on the near the Thames River. We have a Thames River in
Thames
Canada,
River,
by law.
yeah.
And also the what we call the Uncle Tom's Cabin, where many black slaves had left the South to come to Canada to get liberated, to get free. So just a day's walk from where I was born.
Oh,
Yep, from where he set his camp up, like refugees. He gave, they started a whole community, agricultural community for those folks. So,
yes.
yeah, and so that was an interesting part of our history.
That's you born on a historical place, we can say.
That's right. Yeah.
That's from the history begins.
That's right.
And why it being called the walking monk?
Well, yeah, I'm called the Walking Monk because I was given the name. I joined the Krishna consciousness movement, ISKCON, back in 1973, and our guru, the founder Acharya, Prabhupada, he gave me that name, Bhakti Marga. So that's a Sanskrit name. Marga means path, and Bhakti means devotion. Somehow or other, he had the idea, he knew that I was going to be doing devotion on the path,
Okay.
on the trail. So you can translate it as the walking monk. So when I was 20, or 19, I was quite on a spiritual quest. And that generation, the baby boomers after the war, we were that curious about what's going on in other parts of the world. So I was one of those people. And just like there were a lot of celebrities, famous people who went to India for the first time to probe into its philosophy, not so much to get its silks and its gems and diamonds, and spices and all those things. They went to India genuinely for meditation and what the beauty that is brought out from all of that. There were the Beatles, famous Beatles, and there was quite a few celebs. Peter Sellers, who was a famous English guy. He did that.
Yes.
He played an Indian gentleman.
Yeah, that's right.
Party is called it.
Yeah.
Classic. And so I was on a quest. I was raised as a Catholic, and I always enjoyed what I was hearing. I wanted to go a little deeper. So for my parents, it was a little hard to explain to them why I would join this, when in their eyes it was a perfectly good tradition. And I said, and it just happened I'd say 20 years into the movement when I lived as a monk. And I told them I never gave up Jesus. I just added Krishna to my life.
Nice.
So it's that kind of openness that you find in the Vedic tradition from the Sanatana Dharma in India. It's not a question of this or that. That's tyrannical, It's more about acceptance. You can get something from everyone.
Correct.
There are some traditions, however, they're very black and white in their outlook. But I like this openness, this sense of openness. And that's why I was favorable towards joining the movement as a brahmacharya.
Nice.
So then later on, I took sannyas by an Indian guru. He's from the north. He's a Punjabi devotee, Lord Krishna Swami. And but I became a formal disciple of Prabhupada. So all this while, I entered the temple. One day I made a decision in Toronto, and I never looked back.
Oh,
I was just happy with it. And
so that's first place was Toronto when you
yeah,
came
well,
into
I
this.
visited Montreal first
Okay.
to see what was going on there in Park and Avenue. They had rented an old bowling alley, which was three. Can you imagine a bowling alley on three floors?
Three floors, yeah.
Kind of strange, but that's where my first visit to a temple, and then Toronto was the place where I settled down. You know, I would be close to my family members. And, you know, that was always important for me. Family, we all got along, and there were 6 of us. You know,
Okay.
siblings.
All siblings.
Yeah, and we always got along with each other. Whenever there's a birthday amongst us, we get on a Zoom call and we talk.
Like a family reunion.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we talk kind of silly and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So family's always important. Even though I never got married, I said I'm a what you call a Naishtiki brahmacharya, basically from birth, and I'm happy with that. But I believe family is important.
That's right.
Yeah.
And in Sanatana Dharma, there is nothing like that you have to leave the family. Rather,
Yeah.
you have to along more families with you. That's a learning which we have
Mhm.
from Dharma.
That's right. And then what is also important to understand in our tradition is that there is a Supreme Father, Bhagavan,
Yes.
as Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
And Krishna has many expansions or duplications of himself.
Correct.
There are many Vishnu expansions. There's Narasingha, there's Varaha, Matsya.
Yeah.
Some of us are familiar with these different avatars, we call them.
Yeah,
avatars.
Lord Rama was avatar of Shri
Yeah,
Krishna.
that's right. Yeah, they're all, you can say, equal, but they have their own unique position.
Basically, they took all the avatars to give a different learning to the communities.
Mhm.
That's what we can understand.
That's right.
Yeah.
What I find significant about Krishna is that he, not like any other avatars, he laid out the philosophy, the jnana, through the Bhagavad Gita,
Yeah.
No one else did that.
That's right.
And as is explained in chapter 4, he says to Arjuna, his dear warrior friend, he says, I have spoken this message before to the sun god, to Manu, the father of mankind, Manu to Ikshvaku, and in this way, in the cyclic succession,
Mhm.
and the lineage, the message has gone through. So that's what I always found out, what was the beauty of Krishna. Because sometimes people ask, why Krishna, why not Rama? And said, well, we are into Rama. We chant Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. We chant many different mantras, and it's very inclusive. And when it comes to the teachings of Jesus, I didn't see any contradiction. I really didn't.
Yeah.
But I was very drawn in and attracted to the culture, the lifestyle. The food was amazing, prasadam, and also the vegetarian aspect.
All Sattvic Bhojan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So vegetarian or vegan kind
Yeah,
of lifestyle.
kind of same. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was raised on a farm. So
Oh.
we saw animals being born, and they were like cute little things,
Yeah.
whether it was chickens or a calf or something like that. And then it was really hard to stomach looking at them on the dinner table,
Yes.
later on as they grew up. It was a little hard to handle.
Yeah. So that's a great thing that you have left everything behind.
Yes.
When you are in brahmacharya, you're in this way of path, right?
Well, and it has something also to do with the previous life. I felt very comfortable in this culture, the Sanatana Dharma culture, because most likely I have been engaging in this practice in a
Mhm.
previous life.
Mhm.
So I felt totally at home, totally, And, we have our flaws, but, it's still the best thing going on, in my opinion.
Yeah. What makes you here better way? That's always there.
Yeah. When I was a youngster growing up, I used to watch these old movies, old films. I was very fascinated by the art of acting and so on like that.
Yes.
And but when I joined, I didn't see movies anymore. I was just very occupied with seva, service. I was happy doing that.
Yeah.
I felt I had a purpose in life. And now, in regards to, I do a lot of work with the youth. I get sent to different places on the globe.
Mm-hmm.
South Africa, South America, India, of course, U.S. and Canada,
Mhm.
and Europe. And I'm asked to, plug into a festival, some Mahotsava of
Most-
sorts, you know?
yes, yes.
And I'm asked to work with their local youth community, and we do these dramas. So I've written a lot of plays, directed them, and we make it a lot of fun. We use fusion East-West ideas and concepts, and we just have a
And
lot
even
of fun.
specialty is there, like on a drama, on the.
Yeah, well, you learn some of the values, right?
Yes.
Some of the virtues are
So you
there.
made more interesting with that way, so
Yeah.
youth can be attracted on that stage.
That's right, and you know, the thing is, you engage young people in these dramas, they'll never forget it. It'll stay in their head. And any philosophical items that are there that comes out of the story, plus the discipline and the fun of putting it all together, is just something they treasure so much.
How do you think creativity and spirituality are involved, or creativity can be indulged into spirituality?
Well, I think we can look at Krishna's personal life, you know, even though he's Bhagavan, he went to Sanipani Muni's school
Yeah.
in North India, and he learned 64 arts. So starting in the day, they'd learn some arts, and they're all quite creative. And then by the evening, he had it mastered. So not anybody can do that.
Yeah.
So the point is that it was almost like hands-on kind of education in those days. Like, you know, some of the more, let's say, sort of free Montessori's or whatever, those kind of schools, a little more hands-on, a little more
Like a Gurukul style.
exactly.
Yeah, sort of
Yeah,
that,
outdoor
Outdoor
stuff,
stuff,
and,
yes.
and working with your hands and so on like that. And you know, Krishna even learned the art of, of course he already knew, but you know, you could tell what's on a person's mind. You know,
Yeah.
just by looking at the mind.
What is in mind, what is
reading-
thinking, what is going to
reading.
speak that, reading
Yeah.
that mind, that's important.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so creativity is a big part of it. And when you look at all the great teachers in the Bhakti tradition, the devotional tradition, from different parts of India, there's a lot of that. There's singing, there's also dancing, part of it, dramatical presentations, and so many other ways of expressing oneself in an artful way. Yeah. So it's a big part of it all. I mean, Krishna was into dramas. Chaitanya, who was another great saint in our lineage from the time of Guru Nanak, during that time, 500
Yes.
years ago, very much into the arts, and as a way to convey the philosophy. It's something that sticks in people's minds. Books don't always do it.
Yeah.
You know, the Shastra doesn't always do it.
Yeah.
But it is the basis of your stories, your script, you know. So there's scripture and script.
Yes.
So you can make a script from a scripture.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. And while you're saying, like we came to know you're a walking monk, and during your all the walks, so that's a Bhakti Marg, which we can say walk,
Yeah.
right? So you are spreading all the spirituality through your walk.
Yes.
So how many countries or how many times you have been done all that until
Well,
today?
yeah, I've done Canada 4 times, the US once. I just finished doing the Netherlands. I've done
Okay.
Ireland, Israel, Guyana, Trinidad, Fiji Islands, and a few more.
More than
And,
9 countries you have been.
Yeah, so
On
we
foot.
plan to do a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah.
The idea is that if you're a monk, people kind of expect you to do this kind of thing.
That's right.
You plow through all the weather conditions. You accept what's coming at you.
Correct.
You know, and it could be cold. It could be super hot. You know,
Mhm.
you could be attacked by black flies, and you know, by mosquitoes.
Yeah,
all
everything
these
is
things.
there.
And grizzly. I've had encounters with grizzly. You know,
Oh.
I wrote a book about this. you know,
Right.
called the
So
Saffron
nature
Path.
comes close to you.
Yeah, right, or through you, or
Through
something
you.
like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you encounter, you know, fatigue, but you learn to take it all in. You learn to develop thick skin, as they say.
Mhm.
You know, you learn to take in a lot, and less of the pampered lifestyle.
Mhm.
The only problem is wherever I go, people give me the best food, and I said, no, again, you know, they'll give you
But
so
that's
many
their
good
feelings,
toys.
yeah.
Yeah, they're one.
Yeah.
So yeah, yes, okay, I'll take a little bit of this, put it in, and then when they're not looking up, put it on someone else's plate. And you have to play a little game with them.
Don't want to disheart anyone other.
So, but other than that, it's on the walks, you learn detachment by, you know, living in a tent, basically.
Mhm.
You always have a support person, you know, but that's one of the ways that I have found it's effective to establish Sanatana Dharma. right?
That's right.
So when it comes to approaching people of East Indian origin, it's easy. When it comes to Canadians and regular folks out there who are not so familiar with the culture, it takes a little bit more. But we contact the media, said the walking monks coming into town. And the last time I walked across Canada, I had with me a guy who looks like a pirate. He had a beard and everything like that. And also a blue for an Amazon parrot.
Wow.
That talks. So you see, we were a real sensation.
That's right.
And we also went through extremely conservative neighborhoods, like in southern Manitoba and northwest Ontario, as well as Saskatchewan. Once we got to, I hate to say, Alberta border, they said, you can't do this, but we would just go to a school, and they'd open the whole, they'd get all the kids come into the gymnasium, and we'd talk about why the walking is important, tell them a little bit about Canadian history and geography and so on like that, and of course they were very attracted to the bird who would speak to them.
That's right. So in this Marga, you have done a lot of great work, and how we can connect the youth these days, because youth is a little bit confused also. Where should they go? Where should they go for blessing? Which temple they visit? How you can collectively do all that stuff?
Yeah, I know it's a very difficult spot. See, I was born of parents who were from Europe. They came after the war, and they were Dutch. They were from Holland. And so for me, I had to try to identify as a Dutch kid in Canada. So I was a little bit in the middle. So I understand what happens when immigrants come.
Yes.
And the kids are brought with them, or sometimes they're born in Canada. So I'm trying to be a little bit like a nice Hindu or Sikh or whatever. But there's also pressure. Just come on, you got to be Canadian like us. So it is a little bit of a spot which can be a little confusing, and maybe the blend of the two is not so bad, honestly. But I think it's really important that youths get into understanding the purpose of life. I'll give you a nice little story. I was in Ohio on my trip across the U.S. and a corporate guy came. He came in one of those snazzy muscle trucks, and he pulled over, and he said, "So I see you're a monk. Is there something you can give me, some information? Give me some wisdom." That's the word. And I said, "Okay. Well, there's two things that come to my mind," and I had to come up with a quick answer because you could tell by his energy. Okay, you're a monk. Be quick about it. He didn't say that, but you could feel his energy.
Yeah.
And I said, well, human beings are unique. We're built for walking,
That's right.
Body. So we should walk a lot for our own well-being. And then secondly, because we're humans, we have this capacity to get deeper, to go inward, whereas other forms of life, basically, they're interested in eating, sleeping, mating, defending, a little bit of recreation. Human beings do all those things, but there's something inside of us that is gnawing at us, saying, well, why don't you think a little bit about who you really are? And the Vedas let us understand that, to give you a foundational thing in the Sanskrit, a message is aham brahmasmi. That means I am spirit.
Oh.
I'm not this body. And so in the end, you can say, I'm not Punjabi, I'm not Canadian, I'm not American, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman, I'm not even a human. I'm a spirit. I'm the Brahman, spark of life within the body.
Yes.
So when you get your true identity down, because it's all identity crisis that a lot of young folks are suffering from, then it gives you a kind of a grounding. Okay, I've got a foundation. From here I can move on in life.
Okay. So what is your message for the youth and everyone who just want to heal from the problems and stress life?
Yeah.
What is the best way you can tell to them?
Well, the thing is, we need to get in touch with ourselves. And again, the true identity of the self, get away from this identity crisis mode, and believe you're a spirit, because your body will change. When you're young, obviously you like to flash it, you like to flaunt it, but then the 30s kick in, the 40s kick in, the lines start coming, and the belly bulge comes out, and said, you don't have to worry anymore because you're not that body. Yes, you should take care of it, but
Yeah.
when we're young, we just want to look our best, and we're in the mode of attraction. And so that's okay. It's all right to do all those things, but I would just say, keep God in your heart. That's the most important thing, and explore the rich culture which you were born into, Get to the essence of things, It's not so much about Hollywood and Bollywood. It's not so much about the pop culture. It's a little bit more about just getting very grounded. Yes, listen to music, whatever you like, but maybe the message isn't always the strongest. I think the strongest song in the world, to me, it's Bhagavad Gita, the song of God. That's how it translates. The song of the divine.
The song of divine. Yeah.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at the essence. Look at somebody who's broken down. Like Arjuna was, although at that time he was, Dick Van Dyke, he passed away, and he didn't pass away, he got hit 100, he is still with us, and he was an iconic entertainer, good guy to my estimation. So Arjuna, he was well on in his senior years, and yet he became a broken man when he was looking at family members.
Yeah, in front of him.
Yeah, and then Krishna said, listen, we've already gone through everything, and we've taken all steps to make it easy for you, but nothing is working. We're dealing with these Duryodhana, difficult people,
Yeah.
So we have to do something drastic. They're forcing us to be at war.
True.
And so Arjun was a little bit squeamish about it. He felt, no, maybe I can't do this. It's too difficult for me now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should retire. Let me be a yogi and retreat to the forest. I'll live off the land, off the grid. And Krishna said, no. Now is the time to take up arms and fight on behalf of Dharma. Yeah.
Perfect. As Swamiji said, first you have to see inside, what inside of you, that is God, and whatever your culture, please go through with that in deep studies for that, what exactly can come out in your mind or your situation for today. So you have to chant God only. He is the only one, He is the one who is going to help us for any situation. And before you leave, a special message for our viewers.
A special message, okay. Life is busy, so let us not forget the essential point. I'll narrow it down to something very simple. Always remember God. That's one injunction. The second one is never forget God. Always remember God, never forget God.
Perfect.
And then, with that you have a certain inner strength. You can go ahead and do almost anything. You're not alone.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not alone. Loneliness
Yeah.
is perhaps the biggest challenge we have now.
God is always with you.
Yeah,
You have to make faith on this first.
That's right.
In any situation, no friends, no family, but God is there, always to hang you around,
Yes.
and always help you out from the things.
Yes.
So it's a great message by Swamiji, and if you want to visit him today, he's in the evening after 6 o'clock at the ISKCON temple, Calgary, and you can have darshan of him and have some great things which he's presenting today for the community and as a walking monk. So we will get a chance next time when this monk will walk again to us and get blessings, and we'll take blessings from him and spread all the blessings to the community.
Yes.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
It's been a pleasure.
Hare
Hare Krishna.